Okay, today's lesson is a lesson in posting the trot and having the right diagonal. When you first learn to ride, you normally start with a sitting trot. You might do a 2-point position, but when you're ready to post the trot, that's a whole different thing. We bring it back to the walk. So, as you can see, when this horse is walking, he has a rhythm. And when you begin to post, what you do is you're actually going up and down with the horse's, one of the horse's front legs. Now they could be going up and down with the front left leg going this direction. This direction is going to the left because the horse's left leg is on the inside of the circle. But we have a saying in English that goes, rise and fall with the leg on the wall. So to be on what we call the correct diagonal, that means you're supposed to be going up and down with the horse's outside front leg. So when we're going this direction, she should be going up and down with the horse's right front leg. So as a trainer, I would tell the rider when to go up and when to go down. So I might start out by saying just the words, so don't post yet. We're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you can see every time I'm saying up, the horse's right leg is going forward. We'll do that again. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So the first thing we'll do is we will teach the rider to post the walk so they get the feel. And what they're doing is they're standing up and sitting down to the rhythm of the horse's walk. And they're going to stand up when I say up and sit down when I say down. So when we're ready, we're going to go up, down, up, down. Go ahead. Up, down, 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 up. We'll try to go back to the correct diagonal here a second. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And it's very slow at the walk. Go ahead and sit. Okay, so when you teach the rider to post the walk, that gives them the idea of the rhythm. And if a kid is, if a rider is musically inclined and has rhythm, this will be easier task for them than for those who have a little bit more difficulty in that area. So we'll go ahead and pick up a sitting trot. And I'll say the words first so they're ready. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And have them go ahead and start. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now a beginner, when they're riding, I would normally have them on a lunge line. And what's really important when they learn to post the trot is that they don't pull back on the horse's mouth. Because if they're pulling on the horse's mouth to stand up, that horse is going to stop. They're going to have a hard time keeping the trot. So if they're having trouble, you can always have a little handle attached to the pommel of your saddle. Or you can have them reach down. Sometimes there's a strap around the neck they can hold on to if they need help. Or you can have them put one hand on the saddle itself to help pull themselves up to make sure they're not pulling on the horse's mouth. Okay, so once they get that, and we don't worry about diagonals when they first learn to post the trot because they have enough to think about just learning how to go up and down. Okay, and they might bounce a couple times and they might do all sorts of things that, you know, it takes a while to get to where you're posting the trot smoothly, as in this case. Okay, this rider can post the trot just fine. Now if you look very closely, every time she's standing up, the horse's right leg is going forward. And when she sits down is when the horse's right front leg is landing. Now, in order to change the diagonal, if we change directions, all of a sudden we're going to be going to the right because this horse's right leg is going to be on the inside of our circle. And in that case, we go back to our saying, rise and fall with the leg on the wall. That means she should be then going up and down with the horse's left front leg. All right, and to do that, we're going to do an extra bounce. So instead of going up, down, when she changes the diagonal, she's going to go up, down, down, up, down, up, down. All right, so she's going to find a place here to change directions. And then when I tell her to change diagonal, you'll see her sit an extra beat. She changes directions. She's going to sit an extra beat now. And now you'll see she's going up and down with the horse's left front leg. The horse's left front leg is going forward as she's standing up and landing as she's sitting down. So that's how you change your diagonal when you're trotting. You go up, down, up, down, up, down, down. So let's say she's on the wrong diagonal. Let's go on the wrong diagonal. So now this is what we would call the wrong diagonal. And these diagonals are important if you're going to go horse show. Because if you're in a flat class or any place else and you're on the wrong diagonal, it'll be counted against you on the judge's card. Okay, so that's really all that matters as far as the diagonal. But also, it does give you a certain amount of balance if you're going up and down with the outside leg, because those outside aids are very important. All right. So here you can see she's actually going up and down with the horse's right front leg, and that is what we call the wrong diagonal. Okay, so I'm going to tell her to please change your diagonal, and you see she went up, down, down, up, and she changed it. So now she's magically going up and down with the horse's left front leg, and she is correct. Posting the trot is something that's like riding a bicycle. Once you learn how to do it, you'll always be able to do it. And learning diagonals, once you figure it out, you'll always be able to be on the right diagonal. Now, a beginner, to tell that she's on the right diagonal, Michaela, you might want to look and check to see. They have to peek down, and what they're looking for is the horse's shoulder. They're looking for that shoulder movement moving forward. And when that horse's left shoulder is going forward is when they should be standing up. Okay, so as it moves, and it's easy to see the horse's shoulder moving forward, rather than waiting for it to land. So she would check again. I said, check your diagonal. She would look, a little peek down, and then she's correct. And then as you become more advanced, you actually can feel whether you're on the correct diagonal. So if this rider was on the incorrect diagonal, she would know right away just by feeling and automatically change, because it becomes very, very intuitive when you've ridden long enough and enough horses as well. So that's our lesson on posting the trot and correct diagonals. If you keep in mind our saying, rise and fall with the leg on the wall, you'll always know which leg to look at for your correct diagonal. Just remember, when you're checking diagonal, don't lean over too far, just peek down. Don't get frustrated. It takes a little time before you get it every time. If you don't, when you're learning, it's always nice to have someone on the ground to tell you if you're right or not. So that you can practice and get that down pat. And I think that's all we have for today. So good luck and happy riding.